So hello everyone, today in this video I'll be sharing my 4 years of placement journey क्योंकि जब भी मैं बोलता हूँ I got my first internship in my first year, my dream internship in my dream position या फिर stream जो कि थी Android development in my second year, and I got placed right after my third year in one of the Fortune 500 कंपनी. तो ये सुनने में काफ़ी आसान लगता है. People think in US if you just calculate the ratio of jobs for every international student is highest in the US because of startup culture and so many reasons. So that's why you think it's easy to find a job in the US, but I'll be giving you the reality how I got placed and all the steps I took to get placed. So let's get started. So yeah, most of the students start preparing for placements in their second year or third year, but I got very lucky क्योंकि मैंने placement की तैयारी अनकॉन्शियसली या कॉन्शियसली स्टार्ट कर दी इवन बिफोर गोइंग टू कॉलेज. मैं बहुत लकी था क्योंकि मेरे क्लासमेट्स ने मुझे फोर्स किया. मैं एक दिन फिजिकल एजुकेशन की क्लास में जा रहा था, नॉन मेडिकल 11th ग्रेड. माय फ्रेंड्स, माय क्लासमेट्स फोर्स में कि एक बार कंप्यूटर साइंस की क्लास या फिर इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स प्रैक्टिसेस, हम उसे आईपी कहते थे, सो सीएस की क्लास एक बार अटेंड तो करके देख. एंड आई अटेंडेड दैट क्लास एंड आई वाज लाइक वाओ, इट इज सो इंटरेस्टिंग. वी वर लर्निंग जावा के बेसिक्स एंड लिटिल बिट सीक्वल डेटाबेस. सो दैट वाज सो मच फन. इट वाज much easier than physical education में रट्टा मारना, and that's how I got into Java. And मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था that I'm actually preparing for placements. I was doing Java for fun, and that's how I got into Java and Android development. तो अब यार एंड्रॉयड एंड जावा सीखने के लिए मुझे चाहिए था एक लैपटॉप जो कि मेरे अंकल ने मुझे गिफ्ट किया, एंड एक एंड्रॉयड स्मार्टफोन ताकि मैं टेस्ट कर पाऊँ, जो मैंने जिद करके नानी से खरीदवाया. एंड फाइनली आई वाज ऑल सेट टू लर्न. एंड ऐसे करते करते 11th में मेरे आए कंप्यूटर साइंस में 90 आउट ऑफ 100 एंड 12th में आए 98 आउट ऑफ 100. मार्क्स के लिए मुझे इतना कुछ पैशन नहीं था, फिर भी आ गए. बट बिकॉज एंड्रॉयड एंड जावा वॉज सो मच फन, मुझे पता चल गया कि आई रियली वॉन्ट टू परस्यू कंप्यूटर साइंस इन माई कॉलेज. तो ऐसा करते मैंने तैयारी करना शुरू कर दी. इसी कॉलेज में मैंने सर्च किया कि हाँ, आई रियली वांट टू स्टडी इन यूएस, क्योंकि मुझे पता था इफ़ आई विल स्टडी इन यूएस आई कैन ईजिली परस्यू कंप्यूटर साइंस. मुझे अपना रैंक पता नहीं करना पड़ेगा. माई रैंक विल नॉट डिसाइड माई मेजर, आई कैन डिसाइड माई मेजर. तो इस कारण इट वॉज फाइनल. बट प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ एक ही थी, दैट आई वॉज ऑलवेज नर्वस फॉर इंटरव्यूज. प्लेसमेंट के बारे में कभी सोचा नहीं था, बट वीज़ा इंटरव्यू के लिए अपने यूनिवर्सिटी के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव से बात करना, इन चीज़ों में बहुत डर लगता था. यूनिवर्सिटी सर्च करना, इट वॉज रियली हार्ड. बट यू गाइज आर वेरी लकी क्योंकि आपके पास है एक्सेस टू प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक IDP, which is leader in global international student services, and they have partners in universities of countries like Australia, US, UK, Ireland, etc. And सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि they have counseling services which are absolutely free. So basically they will be with you for every step in study abroad. And honestly मुझे IDP की सबसे अच्छी बात ये लगती है कि they give you transparent information. जैसे वो बता देंगे that these are the schools where you can get 100% scholarship. These are the schools where they have no application fee. तो आप choose कर सकते हो. You can basically research as well with them and be transparent and choose your dream school easily. And IDP also organizes biggest educational virtual fairs जहाँ पे you can interact to representative from your dream school, चाहे वो किसी भी कंट्री में हो. आप घर बैठे बैठे you can talk to that representative in a one-on-one session and अपने सारे doubts clarify करा सकते हो. And IDP is there for you for every single step. For example, letters of recommendation, statement of purpose में you have to brainstorm, and also for visa process till the point you submit the button for your application या फिर visa के लिए. and even beyond, अगर आपको internships and jobs के लिए help चाहिए हो, IDP will be there for a 360 support, and they will be there to guide you. So don't miss this opportunity to study abroad, and IDP will be there for you, and the link will be in the description below. तो अब बात करते हैं कॉलेज की यार. जब भी आप कोई भी गोल सेट करते हो, always think about why and how. आपने ये गोल क्यों सेट किया and how you gonna achieve it. तो मेरा भी यही आइडिया था from the first year of college. मैंने सोच लिया कि हाँ यार, मैंने सुना हुआ है कि फर्स्ट ईयर में इंटर्नशिप मिल सकती है. रेयर केस है, बट आई वांट टू डू इट. लेट्स सी how and why I want to do it, because I want to pay my tuition fee so that मैं अपनी undergraduate degree थोड़ी ज़्यादा affordable बना सकूँ. So from first day I was always talking to so many students. You see me talking to so many people in my vlog. मैं vlog में तो काफ़ी लोगों से, strangers से बात करता ही हूँ, but in reality also I do it just to learn. I used to talk to 7 to 8 students every day. I used to work in math tutoring center, dining hall, जहाँ पे भी मैंने जॉब की है. I used to interact with students, और हर student की placement story या फिर story I kind of knew it. So that's why when I met Naman, he told me as well कि यार मैं पिछले semester, he came one semester before me, he told me that I am looking for an internship as well, but the first goal should be to have a GPA. The first semester mein mera goal tha to get a GPA, because when I apply for internships, I can actually write in my resume, this is my GPA. So first semester goal only to get high grades and to actually get to know and to get familiarized with the college. Goal 1 completed. I got GPA 3.9. Second semester start hua, and in my second semester मैंने कहा अप्लाई तो कर लेते हैं, बट आई एम नॉट रेडी येट. इन माई रेज्यूमे देयर इज नथिंग. सो इन माई रेज्यूमे आई वांटेड टू ऐड समथिंग. आई जस्ट हैड वन प्रोजेक्ट जो मैंने 11th 12th में किया था इन माई कंप्यूटर साइंस क्लास इन नॉन मेडिकल. सो आई वांटेड टू ऐड मोर स्टफ इन माई रेज्यूमे. उसके लिए I started going to hackathons. Now hackathons में कैसे जा पाया? Because of the friend circle, because I was talking to 7 to 8 students a day. I knew this hackathon is happening at this time at this location. I checked mlh.io website. I was familiar with so many websites and sources for hackathons that I kept attending every month, every other weekend. Whenever they used to happen, I was registered for every possible hackathon. And now after 3 months of second semester khatam hone wala tha, I had actually 3 projects in my resume and I was ready to apply for internships. 3 projects and 3.9 GPA applied. Now that was March of 2017, I remember, and semester ends in May. So मेरे पास 2 महीने थे. I had only 2 months to find an internship, and I was like, I will not find an internship, I think, and I was like, it's basically not possible, like I have limited time. So I was exploring into internship for software engineering and research positions as a backup. हमेशा plan B रखना चाहिए, and I had that. So basically I looked into research positions for Georgia State, Georgia Tech. I had other universities in Georgia, जितने भी universities आसपास थी, because I didn't want to move out of Atlanta, because you know you have to find new housing for summer, and I didn't want to take the pain. So that's why I started looking for research position in Georgia, but internships could be outside क्योंकि वो housing stipend दे देते हैं. So I got one research position in my own school. Backup के लिए मुझे immediately मिल गई कि हाँ, I can make $2,000 to $4,000 in my summer if I do research in my own school in my first year. But $4,000 versus $10,000 internship काफ़ी difference है. So I kept looking for internships, and मैं internships पैसों के लिए नहीं ढूंढ रहा था. The second reason why I was looking for internships was to gain experience, because अगर मैं आज placements की तैयारी करता हूँ, then 1 year later, 2 years later, it will not be theory for placement. It will not be called preparation. It will be called revision. So you know, you should start as soon as possible. That was my idea. तो जैसे घर में भी हम स्कूल में जाते थे, अगर सिलेबस कल पढ़ाया जा रहा है, आज पढ़ लेंगे, तो आपको जब पढ़ाया जाएगा वो पहले से आता होगा. मेरे नानी हमेशा बचपन में मुझे सिखाते थे. तो वही सेम कॉन्सेप्ट है. यू बेसिकली यू नो preparing in advance, so the next time you learn it, it's revision. So that's why I was trying hard to prepare myself. Now my resume was ready. I kept applying for software engineering internship. Google में, Microsoft में, all these FAANG companies do accept first year students जो college में हैं. And problem is that their lead code questions are really difficult. वो जो आपको programming questions पूछते हैं ना, they are so challenging, and I wasn't ready for it. I just knew basic data structures till hash map, but not beyond that. Graphs नहीं सीखे थे. So that's why I wasn't ready. I was like getting rejected. I couldn't crack any of those interviews. So that's why I found a great solution to get my first internship. That was getting non-software engineering related internship. क्योंकि मेरे पास सिर्फ 2 महीने थे. I was like, I'm gonna grab any kind of opportunity that I get. चाहे वो systems engineering में हो, चाहे वो database में हो, कोई भी opportunity मिले, I will grab it. So I applied for every kind of position in every company and got referrals as well through my friend circle. Friend circle does play an important role in your career. So उस तरीके से I got referrals and kept applying, and that's how I got my first internship, Panasonic Automotive, as a systems engineer, not as a software engineer. और उसकी interview was basically behavior interview round where they ask you, tell me about the scenario when you made this project. So it wasn't a coding interview round. That's how I could crack it, and I was ready for it. And ये क्रैक करने के बाद, जैसे मैंने आपको पिछली वीडियो में बताई है कि I made $10,000, everything smooth. Now this ends first year. Let's start with second year. Now second year start करने से पहले I want to tell you कि even though मैंने systems engineering में interview की थी, मैं यहाँ रुकने वाला नहीं था. मैं झुकूंगा नहीं. तो इस कारण so during my first internship मुझे एक Amazon का leadership principle याद आया. अगर आपने नहीं पढ़े, read all the 14 Amazon leadership principles. That is one of them is go above and beyond. So basically यार मैंने सोचा कि मैं systems engineer हूँ, I'm working on Excel sheets and database here and there. Why not I take an Android project जो मुझे थोड़े basics आते हैं. Why not I do a project and do on the side? क्योंकि कोई company आपको रोकती नहीं है if you want to take more work, take more responsibilities, or to go above and beyond. And now in this case, I took 2 projects, one Android on the side, one systems engineer, and that's how मैंने resume में ये नहीं लिखा कि I was systems engineering intern. I wrote systems and software engineering intern. You can tweak it the way you want to because you're not lying at the end of the day. I had both the projects, and that was my baseline for my career. So this actually ends the first year. अब second year में क्योंकि मेरी performance high थी, I was performing well, so that's how I could do a part-time internship as well, which is allowed for international students. Now with part-time internship, it might sound it was comfortable. I was making $1,000 plus every month. काफी smooth जा रहा था. I was able to manage my classes, but it was still very hard because I was taking 6 classes. मेरे अंदर ये भी goal था कि मुझे 3 years में I want to complete my undergraduate degree. So that's why it wasn't as easy you might think, and I had to travel. क्योंकि you know as an intern you're not allowed to work from home all the time. You have to go to company to work from home culture सिर्फ COVID में शुरू हुआ है. Those who started working in COVID, they don't know the reality of going to office, coming back, train में जाना. Only few people know that. So that's why it was not as easy to manage as you might think. Basically second year काफी tough जा रहा था. Managing office work and school work बहुत difficult था. And I wanted to prepare for better internship next semester. मैं चाहता था कि since I have experience and projects, through that experience I can apply for better internships. Basically यार अगर आपके पास related experience है, only then you get calls. You know पहले मेरे पास calls नहीं आती थी. Now I was ready to get calls, but I didn't even have time to apply or to prepare for internships. That's why I took another challenge that I am gonna give my best. So हर weekend I was like getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I was doing lead code, and how I was doing lead code, मेरे पास friend circle था. Through the friend circle I was actually doing mock interviews. मैं जैसे example जब आप high school में होते हो, टीचर समटाइम्स टेल यू कि आप अपने बेंचमेट के साथ जो आपके साथ बैठा है उस स्टूडेंट से समझने की कोशिश करें, एक्सप्लेन टू ईच अदर एंड अंडरस्टैंड. सो जब आप एक दूसरे को दोस्तों में नॉलेज एक्सचेंज करते हो, दैट इज एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग यू मोर बिकॉज यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स बेटर. दैट्स द रियलिटी ऑफ मॉक इंटरव्यूज विद फ्रेंड्स एज वेल. व्हेन यू टेक इंटरव्यू एंड गिव इंटरव्यू, यू एक्चुअली एक्सचेंजिंग मच मोर नॉलेज, क्योंकि आप एक स्टूडेंट को अपना क्वेश्चन जो आपने चूज किया है वो सिखा भी रहे हो, एंड यू बेसिकली टीचिंग एंड टू टीच इज टू लर्न ट्वाइस, एंड यू लर्निंग फ्रॉम द अदर स्टूडेंट एज वेल. दैट वाज how I was able to prepare for software engineering rounds because I was really nervous. यार lead code कैसे करूँगा? How will I be able to solve coding challenge at 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour? I was really scared. But because of these mock interviews with my friends, आप जा सकते हो. You just go to interview.leadcode.com. You can just find a way to take mock interview of any friend. So that's how I got a little bit prepared to get started with software engineering internships, and that's how I applied to again Nvidia, Microsoft, all the companies I could think of. Nvidia rejected me first because they asked me really hard questions related to bits. Microsoft, Facebook, they had really recursive approaches to questions. They were really hard, but some other Fortune 500 companies did give me an offer where the coding challenge wasn't that difficult, and that's how I landed my second internship, but first internship as an Android developer, officially Android developer, which I really, really enjoyed. Now here starts third year. Now third year में यार second year में everything went well. Now this time I did not try to do part-time. As you remember, part-time was hard to manage. Now this time I thought कि let's start a YouTube channel. मैंने सोचा कि my career is at a good point. I should start a YouTube channel. And I think I did start in second year as well, but वो चला नहीं पाया because of internship. So in third year, I started this YouTube channel and also a reaction channel where I got to fix my communication skills, and मैंने इंटरव्यू प्रेप, प्लेसमेंट प्रेप को थोड़ा सा साइड पे रखा, एंड आई फोकस मोर ऑन यूट्यूब करियर. एंड थर्ड ईयर के बाद में भी, फोर्थ ईयर में भी, आई थिंक आई डिड इंटर्नशिप एट द सेम प्लेस बिकॉज आई वॉज लिटिल बिट कंटेंटेड. जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा हार्डवर्क एक बार कर लेते हो, व्हेन यू आर सैक्रिफाइसिंग स्लीप, आई थिंक व्हेन यू हैव अनदर गोल, आपको पता है कि यूट्यूब एज ए लॉन्ग टर्म इज अ ग्रेट ऑप्शन. आई वॉन्टेड टू ट्राई इट आउट, एंड आई थिंक इट डिड हेल्प मी अ लॉट. सो दैट्स हाउ द यूट्यूब चैनल स्टार्टेड. थर्ड ईयर में भी सेम इंटर्नशिप, एंड फोर्थ ईयर में I actually got full-time offer from the same company. अगर आज मुझे switch करना है, I really have to revise, actually not prepare, because I have prepared in the past. I have to revise my algorithm skills, revise my data section algorithms, and then prepare. So you see the difference जब आप पहले start करते हो. Now I will also tell you कि I personally don't like the interview system क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि even though you could be a high performer, even though you might know how to make Android and iOS app within few minutes, but you might not know how to do BFS, DFS. So that's the reality. Coding interview is not actually true to the skill that they're testing you upon. They might be testing you for your web development skills through lead code questions, which is not justifiable. Now let's talk about the 4 reasons that can help you get placed as well. मुझे लगता है number 1 reason I got placed is I took every single opportunity I was given. चाहे dining hall में काम करना हो, चाहे ट्यूटर की तरह मैथ कंप्यूटर साइंस ट्यूटर करना हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई रिमेंबर वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड ही वॉज लुकिंग फॉर इंटर्नशिप. ही केम एज अ मास्टर स्टूडेंट एंड उसे इंटर्नशिप मिल नहीं रही थी यूएस में. सो वॉट ही डिड वॉज, इवन दो ही हैड वर्क एक्सपीरियंस इन इंडिया, दैट वॉज समहाउ नॉट रिलेटेड टू डेटा साइंस. उस कारण उसे इंटर्नशिप नहीं मिल रही थी. वॉट ही डिड वॉज ही एक्चुअली अप्लाइड फॉर a Qualcomm internship in India because he wasn't getting much calls or attention in the US. He applied in India, got a position from US in India. तो उसने क्या किया, इंडिया गया. He spent 3 months in Qualcomm India. पैसेज हाथ नहीं मिले. He got 50,000 to 60,000 rupees for 3 months, but perks were amazing. Free Uber rides to office, hotel, सब कुछ free. एंड मुझे अभी भी याद है, ही वॉज टेलिंग मी कि 50,000 3 महीने का इज मच लेस देन जो उसे टेबल उठाने के डाइनिंग हॉल में मिलते थे. एज आई टोल्ड यू, आई मेट सो मेनी फ्रेंड्स एट डाइनिंग हॉल. ही यूज्ड टू टेल मी कि यार डाइनिंग हॉल में काम करके आई यूज्ड टू मेक $800 to $900 एंड इंडिया में 3 महीने काम करने का, इंटर्नशिप करने का, आई एम गेटिंग 50,000 रुपीज. दिस इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस. बट स्टिल ही टुक दैट पोजिशन बिकॉज ऑफ विच जब प्लेसमेंट की बारी आई, ही गॉट अराउंड ऑलमोस्ट लाइक $150,000 जॉब ऑफर after his masters. So जो भी opportunity आपको मिले, do grab it. It definitely helps in the future. Now number 2 important lesson, always give mock interview rounds. आपको बताता हूँ, आजकल इतनी सारी websites हैं where you can actually schedule a mock interview, and basically in mock interview if you schedule with a stranger, you are taking as well as giving. Now when you are taking an interview, you are teaching. You're basically interacting with the student. क्योंकि जब आप coding interview देते हो ना, it's not about कि सिर्फ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लिया एंड जितनी देर बंदा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर रहा है यू आर स्लीपिंग. नो, इट्स एक्चुअली अबाउट टॉकिंग थ्रू एवरी स्टेप. जब मैं इंटरव्यू देता हूँ ना, आई टॉक कि मैं अभी whatever is in my thought, I say it loud so that interviewer can actually tell that I'm thinking about multiple ways to solve the problem. I think about DFS's possibility, for loop lagao, while loop, whatever I think, I talk through the interviewer, and interviewer sometimes corrects me, sometimes tell me why not this, why not that. So the whole conversation through the mock interview makes you think that you're always in an actual interview. That will help you prepare. So किसी भी friend को पकड़ो, go to any website and do give mock interviews. Now number 3, prepare early, because अगर आज if you're calling it preparation, tomorrow it will be called revision. So that is very important. Now number 4, read 14 Amazon leadership principles. क्योंकि जब भी आप कोई भी behavior interview देते हो ना, irrespective of your stream, whenever you talk to an interviewer about general stuff, tell me about yourself, if you have those 14 leadership principles in mind, you can use 1 or 2 in some answers. You can give the best example of कि हाँ ये scenario था when I was the best leader. This scenario was when there was a conflict in a team and how I solved it. So you should have those things ready and you will be ready for a behavior interview round. So that'll be it for today's video. And please don't forget to check out IDP Educational Fairs, and the link will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.